Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Maurice.
And this is WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Tony, the fans might have missed you back on January 19th. We had a little bit of snow in the Boston area, but you're going to be back Friday night, March the 1st, right here at MWF Studios. We want the fans to come down. Admission is free.
Yes, and not only that, Boston Media is the best. It's the beast of the East. SOS, simply out of sight. Often imitated, but never duplicated.
I don't think anyone could duplicate what you and I create.
No, because it's raw.
Because I'll tell you this, there's many...
No strip, just say what we think, say what we mean. It's raw.
Many people tried to copy what we did with the Iron Sheik in this studio, and they were never able to get the recipe right, so to speak.
Right. The original is always better than the rest.
Absolutely. Tony will also be available for autographs and pose photos for a nominal fee. And again, while admission is free, we want you to come on down to the TV studio. Whether you're in Boston or anywhere around the world, we need as much fan support as possible. We have great items for sale on BostonWrestling.com. We're starting to use eBay more. The more fans that participate in getting these shows produced, the more Tony will be here. I know, Tony, our goal has been to try and get you here on a weekly basis if the fans will support it.
Yes, you know, and one thing about Boston Media that it does for a lot of us legends, Vince does a lot for us, but he keeps us undercover a lot. But with Boston Media, you can get to see Tony, you get to see the Iron Sheik, you can get to see the Tito Santana, and come and meet us live and listen to some of our stories, because some of the things that we did in our younger days, a lot of it being legal today, first of all.
Very true.
But it was a different world, and I was lucky to see the old world and see the coming of the new world.
WWE isn't going to produce a 3-DVD set for every superstar they ever had under contract. That's why these types of shows are so important, especially where we lose so many legends on a yearly basis. So again, we send out the invitation to you Friday night, March the 1st, right here at MWF Studios, Melrose, Massachusetts. Check out BostonWrestling.com for complete event information. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Maurice.
And I'm Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
It took him a second.
Always does.
Before we get to this great full-length episode of Memories and Legends, check out some of our great friends you can help support the cause to keep more Memories and Legends coming your way. Infinity Key, a truly natural online language training experience. 25,000 minutes, that's what you'll need to invest. Invest 25,000 minutes with Infinity Key, and we'll build you a portfolio of language experiences designed to accelerate your personal progress. The coach will help you strike the right balance between passive acquisition and active application of your target language. InvestKey's algorithms and coaches guide you along the clearest, quickest path forward on your journey to fluency. Visit www.infinitykey.rocks for more information, and follow Infinity Key on Facebook at facebook.com/InfinityKey.
He is the People's Champion, the Brahma Bull, the Great One, and this...
Finally, The Rock has come back!
...is his story. Journey alongside the millions in this definitive guide to
The most electrifying man in sports and entertainment!
See The Rock.
It's just a man!
Like you've never seen him before.
But The Rock is cooking!
The World of The Rock. Available now.
Wrestling fans, check out the brand new lapel pin from our friends at Crimson Mask. Inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, it's Bang 316. Only $8 each or 2 for $12. If you think it makes a great holiday gift, give me a hell yeah. Get yours today at crimsonmask.bigcartel.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti, joined by the co-host with the most, the man that is no longer on the milk cartons. No, we got him off of Tinder and brought him right back here.
That's right, I'm back, baby.
MWF Studios. We have another interesting episode as we head into a big winter, spring, and summer here in the MWF. What do we got? We got headlines and news, a lot to cover since we were last here together.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we'll go into the AEW stuff last. Anything that has to do with that, because there's so much. We'll just start with I thought the Abyss, Sanjay, Shane Helms, and Jeff Jarrett all getting contracts from WWE as agents. How do you feel about that? I think it's cool. Finally, them making some moves for some actual talent being, current talent being into the back, to help maybe some of these matches out.
Well, I think there are some people that may not know who Sanjay is. You're referring to Sanjay Dutt.
Okay.
Who was of Impact
My bad
Wrestling
if
and
you
a
didn't know
former
who he was.
cruiserweight X-Division champion in TNA. All these different promotions running around. It's crazy. Yep. I really don't know Sanjay. I know Abyss personally. I know I'm sure, encountered him here in the MWF before at live events.
Yep.
He's got a great wrestling mind. Jeff Jarrett, without the shadow of a doubt, has a great wrestling mind. Hurricane is a very creative person. And Sanjay, I've only heard good things about. So those seem like four really good pickups.
I thought so too.
My question is, where do you put them? Are there going to be some producers / agents, if you're old school like me? Some are going to be leaving. Are they going to expand the number of spots for each television taping now that they have more money coming in and they want to try and groom guys for long-term spots like that? Those agent positions are very difficult to get, and there's a lot of poking around, a little peering, almost like we deal with before the TV taping sometimes. But that's a different story for a different time. I'm very happy for Abyss. He's a good guy. And with everything that Jeff Jarrett went through, my God, look at the trials and tribulations for him over the past 20 years. Holds up Vince McMahon for $250,000 to put over China. Goes to WCW, has a chance to be a main eventer. The company closes down. Vince fires him on Raw live from Cleveland, Ohio, before he even has a chance to go back. Starts up TNA in 2002 with his dad. Then the company is sabotaged from within, being given completely false pay-per-view numbers, 10 times more than it actually was. The company almost folds. His wife passes away from cancer after they find someone to finance the company in Dixie Carter. He has the behind-the-scenes romance / affair with Kurt Angle's ex-wife, Karen Angle. Then made the mistake of lying to Dixie Carter about it, which had Jeff Jarrett packed and sent home for quite a bit. Had his comeback, then eventually he said, you know what, I think I'll be better doing this myself. He had the big tease for WrestleMania 30 weekend that he had a big announcement to make, and it was indeed the announcement of Global Force Wrestling. He eventually went back to TNA, was inducted into their Hall of Fame. Global Force Wrestling was focused for about a week and a half before they realized that nobody cared.
He taped some shows.
He did. He got some shows financed out in Las Vegas. Then he was hitting the bottle a little too heavy, which some of us do. Wrestling can be a tough business, a tough industry, along with real-life problems that human beings encounter. And to WWE's credit, they took someone that had a percentage in TNA and put him through rehab. They paid for the complete package, put him in the Hall of Fame in New Orleans, Louisiana in 2018, then brought him back as a surprise at the Royal Rumble 2019, and now he's a character that will be seen from time to time on TV, and apparently will be adding his knowledge behind the scenes. Is that really not an interesting story now that I just spit it out there like that?
Oh, absolutely was. That's
really
why I wanted to talk about it. That's why I brought it up first. I figured
Dutch, was that an interesting story if you're over there?
Very interesting story.
All right.
Absolutely.
Did you know all that?
No.
All right, well, you got the Cliff Notes
and
version.
We just got it done, and this will interest Dutch too, is
Does it have to do with mothers and daughters?
No, this is
all
a
right.
fellow WWE guy now being an MMA attraction, Jack Swagger, Jake Hager. He made his MMA debut and won in the first round.
You know, I don't go crazy.
For the Bellator.
I respect MMA. I like to follow it as a business. I don't mind watching it, but this is one of the few times I would have tried to have gone out of my way to see it if it wasn't Royal Rumble weekend.
Right, because it was on TV too.
Did
so
you
had
watch
to pay.
it?
Yes, I did.
How did he look?
He looked good. He looked really good in there. And you know what's kind of cool is that he used R-Truth for his entrance. R-Truth rapped his entrance. That's Endurance, a song that R-Truth does. He rapped. It was really cool visual.
I heard about that before it happened. Did they identify him as R-Truth?
Yep.
Oh, good.
They actually indicted him as the ECW World Champion and the WWE Champion too. They talked about all that.
Swagger. I thought you meant
Swagger.
R-Truth.
Yeah, they talked about all that too. And then they also had he uses "We the People" all the time. Like, that's his gimmick. Like, his entrance starts with, "We, the people," and then he comes out, and then once he won, the first thing he did when he got on the mic, when the interview was, "We, the people." And I just was like, wow, they actually use it still.
I saw somewhere on social media, it must have been a weigh-in video in black and white that he did the hand over the heart.
He does it.
Thing.
That's what he does.
And you know what? That's smart. He's apparently kept in good relations with WWE.
Now he just has to have Dutch come out with the, Dutch come out with the little stroller thing. And
him or Zeb Coulter?
Zeb Coulter.
Oh,
Dutch.
that Dutch.
Dutch
Okay.
Okay, you must have forgot.
Which one? Yeah, I know a lot of Dutches.
All right, there we go. But yeah, so
well,
I thought that was kind of...
Dutches.
So you didn't see it, so you don't really have much to talk about it. And we'll talk about this then.
I'm happy he did well.
Okay.
It's good for wrestling.
What did you think about Halftime Heat?
What a great idea.
Great
concept. You know, what you can say about the Mankind and the Rock endeavor back in 1999, I didn't like that so much because of the nonsense they did at the end with the camera shot of the pallet going down on him. But I thought the 2000 version was fun when they interviewed Steve Austin for the first time since surgery, and they had the Mae Young striptease from Royal Rumble 2000. Great way to get 6 guys over. It built up interest. I'm going to guess that there were some wrestling fans that maybe haven't watched a lot of NXT but have the network that checked that out.
Because
it was
the
kind
halftime
of
show was terrible.
It was not any good.
Oh, it was
you
awful.
are correct about that.
Absolutely. But I just want to get your opinion on
yeah,
that. I thought it was cool.
I hope they do that every year, and I hope they continue to do it.
And they
with
did it
NXT
live from the
talent.
PC, which was really cool. And there was a lot of people there. Obviously, neither teams were playing in there that from there, but still, it was really.
Well, it was a Super Bowl party for the staff and the wrestlers. And
but who were all the fans? Were those all
those
fans?
were all friends and family.
Wow,
yeah,
wow, okay. I didn't know
let
they
fans in.
No way. That's
I was
awesome.
worried how they were going to pull that off when I heard that. Because
that place was packed. That was good.
Yeah, well, no, they had a big party. Yeah,
that was cool. Moving on, we'll go back to the MMA route. Did you you know who Chris Cyborg is?
Beautiful woman.
No, not at all. But Chris Cyborg, she was at the PC training a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was not last week because some of these headlines are from the week before. So the week before, she was at the PC all week training.
How old of a woman is she?
Dutch. What? How old is Chris Cyborg?
Late 30s.
There you go.
Oh.
But she's what do you call it? She's definitely big.
Well,
she's like I just thought that was interesting.
I could see her being groomed as an attraction for a Rousey or maybe even Becky Lynch.
And she says she has interest in WWE. So I just thought it was interesting that she's already started.
Is she done in UFC?
She's about to be. Her contract just ended, and she lost her last fight, losing the belt.
Yeah, Amanda Nunes. So we'll see what happens. I just thought that was interesting.
That's too bad they still didn't make those
what do you
Divas
think?
in
Let me ask
Paradise
you this: what do you think
DVDs
about Twitter beef? First of all, what do you think Twitter beef when they go back and forth? How do you feel about that when wrestlers do it with other people?
In real life or nonsense storylines?
Henry Cejudo and Daniel Bryan have been going back each other because Henry Cejudo has a crush on Nikki Bella, and he's been talking a little bit smack, and Daniel Bryan's been talking smack back. And I just wonder how you feel about that. Do you think it's good that they interact like that, or he should just...
I think when it comes to any wrestler's social media, they need to keep it either worked or shoot. Okay. When you mix it up, it kills it for both sides.
That's what I want to know.
It's very ineffective.
Absolutely. Okay.
I don't know if this is a real situation or not.
The way they were talking smack, it could be and it couldn't be. I don't know. I don't know if they're close or not. I don't know their relationship. I just seen it, and it was pretty interesting to me because Henry Cejudo's champion of the UFC, and Daniel Bryan is obviously, but it's just all because of Nikki Bella, and I just thought that was interesting. I want to see how you felt about that.
Anything with the Bellas, I'm usually not going to like, but I'm not familiar enough with the situation.
And recent signing by AEW, Chris Jericho, had something to poke a little fun at Brock Lesnar. Did you see that?
I heard about it.
He told him that he needs to stop, just give it up, pull up your trunks, and let's stop showing that gut to everybody. I thought that was kind of, he's bold.
And I think Jericho's in great shape for a guy his age, but that belly, it's got a little poke to it.
Absolutely. And I also thought this was a jab, too, as he told... He loves watching you push all the random people on WWE and Impact, and that their AEW, the company he just signed with, are only interested in 6 to 8 guys. That's what he tweeted out. I just feel like, why is he... I know he's trying to create a little, heat or whatever you want to contact, but the things he says, you think it's right?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
it got people talking.
Exactly. Someone like me.
He's been known to hit the bottle from time to time late at night, as some of us do. You should have seen this one in Arizona, but...
he was drinking?
Well, I'm not going to say who the one that fell through the chair on the balcony was.
Uh-oh.
He may be sitting on the set.
Okay. And we'll go with this. Hideo Itami asked for his release, and he had his last match.
What a just a lousy situation overall.
Yep.
You have, I think I may have commented on this during the Royal Rumble itself, Dutch, but Hideo Itami in Japan was regarded as one of the greatest wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
And then brought to WWE, NXT, you know, he really suffered from the injury bug, but was given next to no opportunity to do anything meaningful. Thrown into 205 Live and just kind of existed.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Just, they missed the boat.
Yep. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. That's the way she goes. WWE didn't announce, but I got from your boy Dave Meltzer. He said they're returning to Saudi Arabia May 3rd.
Well, unless something really changes drastically, they're going to be going in the spring and in the fall every year.
Right. I just saying they're returning May 3rd. I thought that was, something to just put out there.
Well, I don't know what wrestling has to do with what's gone on over there. I mean, the Pope was just there.
Right.
And believe me, I think there's more working that goes on in the Catholic religion than there is in pro wrestling.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's some people that aren't going to like that. I'm a proud Catholic, but, you know, it is what it is.
Me too. The other thing before we get into the AEW talk was that Taker had removed today, actually I got it today, he removed all WWE social media off his Twitter and Instagram page. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's just,
Now, here's the thing. Was it actually removed from that short little biograph thing?
Yes.
Or was it every WWE reference removed from his messages?
Everything from his graphic. I didn't go scan through everything.
Not every superstar in WWE has WWE material in that little box.
And that's fine. I just want to get what you thought about it because I didn't have near say.
Like I said, if this is right now, he's got a deal similar to Hogan and Sting and Flair and such, where they can go out and take third-party bookings while still affiliated with the company. You know how much money that man can make taking bookings at Comic Cons and things like that?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're talking about, I'm sure you remember Steve Austin at WrestleCon last year as you went and got a photo with the man.
Absolutely.
If not more than Austin, at least equal to it.
Yeah, totally agree.
That's great money for the man to do very little work.
Now, the big topic, which we haven't been able to discuss, AEW.
And
All Elite Wrestling.
We're going to keep them guessing. We're going to take a brief time out. Check in with our friends when we come back. I'm very interested to see how this wrestling conversation goes when we talk about the brand new All Elite Wrestling. Stand by.
Lafayette on Monday, February 18th. Feel the thrill as Monday Night Raw returns. Witness Seth Rollins collide with Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. Plus, Finn Balor and Elias battle Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley in a tag team match. And don't miss Ronda Rousey and many more. It's WWE Raw live in Lafayette, Monday, February 18th. Tickets and ringside packages are available.
See the moments.
Generation X invades WCW.
You'll always remember. Like never before.
Occupy Raw has taken over.
With Raw, the first 25 years, packed with rare photos, profiles of your favorite superstars, and so much more. From the very first Raw to the 25th anniversary, it's the ultimate guide to WWE's flagship show. Raw, the first 25 years. Available now.
Edinburgh. On Friday, February 15th, WWE Live returns with a triple main event as 2019 Royal Rumble winner Seth Rollins takes on Drew McIntyre in an epic battle. Plus, Braun Strowman collides with Baron Corbin one-on-one. And the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, clashes with Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. It's the WWE Live Road to WrestleMania Tour in Edinburgh, Friday, February 15th. Tickets and WWE Superstar Experience packages are available.
Hi, wrestling fans. Welcome. Mick, before we get going, it's very important we recognize one of our good friend in the back, the little Dutch boy. It's one of his favorite holidays today with our friends in the land down under. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, what is it?
Waitangi Day.
Oh, wow, okay.
Similar to their July 4th.
All right.
So for our fans in New Zealand, Bushwhacker Butch lives down there. Tony Gurria, Bushwhacker Luke. Happy Waitangi Day.
Rock on.
And I know you know how to use your tongue.
Oh,
down
absolutely.
under, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's a different story for a different time.
day.
All right, let's get elite, baby. I'm ready for this.
All right. AEW, All Elite Wrestling is the real deal now. Tony Khan, $1 billion man. Biggest signee was Chris Jericho for a lot of money. We don't know how much. There's been other people signed, the Young Bucks, We have Jimmy Havoc just signed, Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes, MJF. I mean, we got some talent there already signing up, and then there's been talks. I'm going to give it all, and then you give me what you think.
Fire away,
Randy
brother.
Orton said he's definitely going to have a discussion with them because his contract's coming up. WWE has been noticed that their management is very nervous about the AEW because a lot of the WWE workers don't want to renew their contracts when they're up. Also, the Usos have said that they're not going to renew their contracts in April when they're up, that they want to go there. There was a couple other talks too. What was the other one that I seen? Oh, and there was an outstanding offer to one of the big main superstars in WWE, but they haven't said who, but Cody Rhodes hinted to it that there's been an outstanding offer, which probably a lot of money like Jericho. I don't know who it is. I don't know if you have any ideas who it could be. And also the big one is Dean Ambrose. It could be a work or not. We're not sure. I'm not sure at least. I shouldn't answer for him. That he said that he's not renewing his contract when it's up in April. We'll see what happens there. Could he be part of OVE where he started? If you watch Impact, that's where he comes from that group. Or is he going to go to Impact, or is he going to go to AEW? I mean, it's wide open. I'm very excited for AEW. Me personally, my quick little sense on is I think it's great for the business. I think it's going to be successful because they don't need to compete with WWE. What they need to do is get fan base and people to watch it. And if they're on TNT where it's rumored they're going to be, and if they do it on Monday night or Tuesday night, I think those are great nights. And if they have the right guys. Now, the thing about it is, who's going to write the show? That's what I got to see, though. Where's the creative going to be writing for it? So if it's good creative minds behind it, I think it can be very successful. If it's the Young Bucks and Cody just doing everything, I'm a little nervous, but I'm not going to say they can't. My main thing is it's good for the wrestling business having another wrestling organization involved with the whole professional wrestling world, and I think it's going to make WWE work harder, which we need, because like we just went through WWE SmackDown and Raw, and we talked about how boring it was, how it could be better. I think they're going to have to step their game up if this is for real. And that's all I have to say. Dan, you take the floor.
Oh, baby, I'm loading up the gun with bullets. I do have to say I'm in a tremendous amount of pain right now, which is why I have my legs crossed. I don't want anyone to get any funny thoughts. The ailments that I suffer from my physical disability are flaring up tonight. But you know what? The only thing hotter than my lower back right now could be the discussion of AEW. I'll disagree with you on the first part. You're saying it's a good thing for professional wrestling. You are incorrect. It's a great thing for professional wrestling. It's a great thing anytime a company opens up that's going to offer full-time work. Now, is it my cup of tea? If it's going to be wrestling based around their little internet show, it might not be my cup of tea. But at the end of the day, it's creating jobs, it's creating revenue. Now, I've seen pretty much two different points of view online on social media. There are the fans that think, you know, Vince has got the covers up over his head. He's worried, he's nervous, he's scared. This is what's going to be WWE's great challenge, their great competitor. The other train of thought I hear is it's going to be a flop. It's going to be a disaster. No one knows who they are. They're too small, and so on and so forth. I don't think either one of those is accurate. I don't think Vince McMahon is losing sleep over it. There's nothing to lose sleep over as of yet. They haven't even inked a television deal. Is it going to fail? Let me tell you something. A man worth billions of dollars that owns an NFL franchise is not going to get himself involved in a project that is going to fail anytime soon. So I think it is a great time for professional wrestlers because now not only do you have a billionaire getting into the industry looking to sign professional wrestlers to contracts, you also have WWE's television rights next September quadrupling. Quadrupling. Could there be a better time, unless maybe you're Impact or Ring of Honor, to be an active talent looking to sign a contract? I don't think Impact or Ring of Honor are going to be able to compete.
Well, the only thing I got to say is I did read that AEW, and they even said they are going to work with Impact.
Good.
So I don't know how they're going to work that out. They said they would be working with Impact.
I think that's a good thing.
They didn't say anything about ROH, but they did say with Impact. So keep on going.
If I'm going to kind of sidestep away for a second because I thought about this afternoon. If you're Ring of Honor, if you're New Japan, you really gave these guys a platform to get over, kind of do their internet show, do their all-in show. Now all of a sudden, okay, they're leaving, and now they're trying to cherry pick who they want to take from the company. I could see there being some resentment there.
Absolutely.
One man's opinion.
I mean, absolutely. I can see what you're saying. I'm not going to disagree with that. That is true. Because, I mean, they brought him to the dance. Now they're taking him from the dance and leaving them with the scraps.
Now, I'm gonna start to maybe hurt some of the feelings of the diehard fans, which isn't my intent. It's a personal opinion. This has nothing to do with the human beings behind the project, because from the ones I know, they're good eggs. For the people that think this is really going to explode, what I want to know is, other than Chris Jericho, who has proven themselves to be a draw, increase business for any wrestling promotion in North America?
You asking me to answer this?
I just want to know if these guys.
Here's the thing I look at it, and I go over this every time with you, is that, yes, I understand where you're going with the drawing numbers, but the thing is that they're not trying to draw WWE numbers. They're just trying to be a successful company. As successful as anything by getting viewers and being successful on the channel they're on. They don't need to get 2-3 million viewers if that's not what the television deal promotes. If they get 1 million viewers, that's successful to me. Being on television, right?
At the end of the day, it's all how the deal is structured.
Because I think we get different when I'm saying that I think it's going to be successful. I don't expect them to be WWE. I don't even expect them to be WWE Light. I expect them to be their own brand, successful on a television channel. That's what I expect. I don't expect them to get 3, 4, 5 million viewers. If they did, oh my God. But if they get 1 million steadily, between 1 million, 1.5 million every week, or however it works with their shows, I think that's successful.
You think there are 1 million people that are going to tune into this?
Absolutely.
How soon after it begins on TV?
I think
from week 1?
I think from week 1 you're going to have a skyrocket, and then I think it will decrease a little bit, but I think they'll maintain between a 1 and a 1.5. I think they'll do close to 2 on their first one, only because all those names, and we don't know who they signed yet. I'm planning on them signing a couple more big names, and it depending where Kenny Omega goes to. He has a huge following. You got to remember that these guys have huge followings. Huge following. And you know what? Here's the thing, is if WWE is trying to sign these guys, that says something for themselves. They've tried to sign the Young Bucks. They tried to sign Cody back. They tried to sign Kenny.
They're smart businessmen.
But I'm saying, if they're trying to sign him, they know these guys can do damage.
Well, maybe they're just trying to present the best product possible in WWE. Are you trying to tell me that if AEW didn't exist, Vince and Triple H wouldn't have tried to sign those guys?
No, what I'm saying, though, is you act like these guys are scraps. Like,
okay, well,
they haven't drawn.
I'm going to give you my reasoning behind it. These talents were given every opportunity in the world to perform on the platforms they choose to, in the ring, online. Ring of Honor, outside of a few shows in New York and WrestleMania weekend, it's a company that is lucky to draw 1,000 to 1,500 people per show. If these guys were that over and meant that much to the fans, why are they drawing a low number like that?
Here's the thing, is that you do that, but that's where you're wrong, is they're not, the platforms of the wrestling organization they wrestle for aren't WWE. They don't get promoted like WWE. They don't, it's all, a lot of it's word of mouth. Like when I tell you ROH is coming, half the time you don't even know unless you know someone that's there that says, hey, you want some tickets. You don't know where they are next week because they're not promoted like WWE. But you know where WWE is every Monday night. You know where they're going to be most of the time. You know when their events are going to be and everything like that. Do you know when the next, other than obviously, Madison Square Garden, do you know when the next show is in March? You even know what it's called? Exactly. It's not promoted like that, so they're not as big. If All Elite Wrestling is going to be like a WWE-like promotion like that, with their big numbers, run ads, run all that, it can be successful.
A huge key to them being successful, no matter how the TV deal is structured, if they spend big when it comes to localized TV
and they
ads.
got that money.
They do. They do. But my point is, but Young Bucks have this fan base. Cody has this fan base.
One thing, too,
why didn't
we're on
they
this before,
financially
can you put that on hold
support
for one second?
these events?
Did you see the presentation for All In? Did you actually see the
You mean
presentation, like the show? The actual show, like the whole, the
when they
stage,
were at
everything?
The stadium?
Yeah.
Yes.
You seen it?
I thought it was very underwhelming.
No. I'm talking about All In, their actual show, their one
the
show.
actual live event? Yes, I did.
That was all done by Tony Khan. That whole stage, everything. He paid all that. That was him. So if they're going to do that for every show, that's big time. That's a good visual.
It was a good, well, I mean, it was better than passable.
Right. ROH doesn't do that. Impact doesn't do that. Like these small plays don't do that. So right there, they're already in a step in the right direction if they're going to get that. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong. They're certainly headed in the right direction. The fact that they have meetings with real television stations that are willing to
if they
pay
get
them
on
real
TNT,
money.
And the thing is if TNT, a company that got out of the wrestling, wants to get back into it, and they want a startup that they have no, like you're saying, there's no proven numbers there. If they're looking at all that, why would they want to give them money to put their programming on?
Right now, live sports is key.
But don't
if TNA did not continue to castrate themselves for so long,
you think they would be
the
on
money that company could be worth right now, the events they could be running, the roster they could have right now, it's just, that's depressing to me.
Well, the reason
TNA
why is
was.
why? Because they were run with the wrong people. This company is run by the right people. They got a billionaire, first of all. Then they got the good wrestling minds.
All right, I'll say this. They got great money behind it.
And they got good wrestling minds.
They have Cody Rhodes in the Young Bucks as their executive.
But they have Chris Jericho, who's a great mind for the business. And you know Jim Ross is going to have his hand in there, whether he wants to admit to it or not. He's got a hand in that. I don't care what he says. He definitely does, because when you listen to the podcast, he's always promoting the crap out of it. He has something in there, and he's going to end up getting announced there.
Let's eliminate Jim Ross for a minute.
Okay.
Of the people that we know that are involved right now, who, other than an internet platform, which was very successful, it led to an all-in show that one time drew 10,000 fans, which is a giant feat.
It probably could
no
have
matter
more.
how you want to look at it. It could have maybe done double. There was such a, maybe not quite double, but there was a big
15.
demand. Did 55,000 buys on pay-per-view. If the fans were that into them, why didn't it do better?
First of all, there was no storylines for any of the matches, so there was no build-up. So
That's fine, but if the fans liked it, why didn't they go?
Well,
why
because
didn't
second
they
of
buy
all,
it?
it wasn't, what do you call it, promoted like if it was on a TV thing. It was only promoted by word of mouth pretty much, and by the Ring of Honor platform, and that's it.
Well, you know what? Maybe you're right about as far as the Ring of Honor
Because, like I just
platform
used the
goes.
examples, what is ROH's next pay-per-view? You don't even know. And you're a huge wrestling guy, but you don't know because they don't promote it. They don't show it like that. That's what I'm saying. And with All Elite, they're going to do those things because they have the money behind it, first of all. And the guy's not afraid to spend the money. Second of all, they're going to be on a TV channel that everybody gets in the whole entire country and maybe world. I don't know if TNT is shown in the whole across world, but at least in this country it is.
Well, that's Ring of Honor's biggest problem right there, is
Right.
you can't go to two cities
I watch
and
Ring
watch
of
it
Honor
at the
every
same
week.
time.
I watch it just like Raw, but I don't even watch it on TV because I don't even know what channel's on.
Online?
I watch it on the Fight app. I watch it
I don't
weekly
know
on
if
that.
we get the channel they
I don't
run
even
on
know
in
what channel they
Boston.
run because they don't announce it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I'm saying right there. They don't even announce what channel they're on around here. I have to watch it on the Fight app. You're going to know what channel they're on. They're going to promote them. They got a great backer.
That is the part I don't dispute. My problem is when you go to watch that show, is the casual wrestling fan that doesn't watch them now going to be engaged enough to stay with them? Now, I'll say this, and we'll probably be heated as this gets closer to becoming reality. The first 6 weeks, throw it out. If the numbers are great, throw it out. If the numbers suck, don't take it as a sign that it's going to be doomed. They have to start to build the foundation to the house before they can build the wall.
And I
Same
agree
thing
with
with
that.
the live attendance. I think they're going to do very well right off the bat, but these are people that have been immune to criticism. You haven't seen them in the high-pressure type situations as running. I don't know if it's going to be a live weekly TV show, but a weekly television
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
show.
I don't know how it's going to be there, but I think you're right. The first 6 weeks, I agree with you on that. But I don't think it's going to decline. I think it's going to work. And also, you got to remember this, like I said, who's going to be writing the shows? Who's going to be the creative direction there? It can't just be Cody and the Bucks, because that's the thing.
All I know is they are the creative people behind their web program each week. What's it called?
Being the Elite.
Being the Elite, that's right. If that's what their concept of professional wrestling is, I think they could be disappointed.
I think that's
If
the
they
show.
could
I
tap-
hope that's not it. I hope that's not it.
If they can tap into Jericho and Ross
And I think they
and
will.
present professional wrestling with common sense.
And they probably have Bruce Pritchard, too. He's probably going to be part of it.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be
You
someone
know,
that's
the
there.
funny thing is right now, where so many people are trying to sign talent, there's almost better people available behind the scenes than in the ring.
Right.
I mean, look at my buddy Al Snow.
Look at my buddy
What a
Vince
great-
Russo.
Al Snow is a phenomenal trainer. He was a fairly well-regarded agent, and he's not doing anything right now other than Ohio Valley Wrestling.
And
The
look at
fact
Vince
that some
Russo.
of these guys are not full-time employed somewhere.
Yep. It's a shame that Vince Russo isn't he. He's just doing podcasting.
I've told you, Vince Russo has been done to death so many times. His successes and his failures can be debated to death. I think there is a place for that man in wrestling in 2019. at least contributing ideas.
Right.
I wouldn't let him run a television show by himself, but as far as one thing he's always good at is creating idea. He can create the beginning of the story. He has not a clue how to create a middle and an end.
That's not true.
Well, that's where we disagree then.
That's where we disagree, because there's some
He
great
came
things
up with some great angles, great storylines. He just never knew where to go with them.
I don't really want to go down that road
All right,
anyways.
well,
But here's
you brought
the
it
thing,
up.
is that it all depends on who's writing the show, how they do creative and everything like that. But if they do it the right way, I definitely see it be successful. And I'm going to say it's going to be successful because I don't think they would do this without having a game plan.
Success to me is simple. Can they profit? If they can profit, if the guys can get full-time work, if television stations are happy enough with the numbers to continue to pay them a guaranteed amount of money every year, that is a success.
And they got some great,
it doesn't have to sell out every week.
They got some great guys that are on the indies that are just not there yet in WWE. That's why. Like MJF, do you even know who that is?
He's got a great personality.
He's fantastic. If he can get on this platform, he could end up being a star and helping the show.
If it turns into the Joey Ryan penis thing,
no, but that's one guy, and I don't even know if he's even part of it
I
yet.
hope not.
They haven't said. But Joey Janela is another guy that even Stone Cold Steve Austin loves. He's a guy that could help with this.
He's got great potential.
Right.
I'll say that.
But that's what I'm saying.
I haven't been huge on
what
some
I like
of the
about
things I
AEW
have
is they're
seen
giving
of him.
the internet darlings some chances on there, and they're signing big names like Chris Jericho. They have the Young Bucks. They have some of those guys, too, that have been part. And then they're looking at other contracts, like a Dean Ambrose maybe, like a Randy Orton, like the Uso. Like there's guys out there that they can get.
Orton was one you've mentioned a couple of times now. And, he likes to screw with people. That's the one money talks in professional wrestling.
Right, but if you think Tony Khan, if he says give me $4 million a year, that guy could do it because they know that's a name.
But here's the thing: you don't know how long Tony Khan is going to be invested in this if it fails.
Right. Well, I know he's
got a lot of money.
No, what I was going to say is he's a die-hard wrestling fan. He's been one forever. Like I'm talking about back in the ECW days. I listened to a nice podcast on X-Pac podcast with him, and he's been a fan for his whole life. Like, and that's what his vision is to just basically have it be back to where it was the attitude. It was like edge of the seat, what's going to happen next week. And if they can get down that route again, because WWE doesn't do that to me anymore, really, only on some things.
I have my theory of what professional wrestling should be in 2019, and I'm not going to say that out loud. I don't want anyone to take it. But if they can present something with an ebb and flow that has logic, common sense behind it, that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, they'll be doing better than the presentation of every other wrestling promotion I know of.
Before we end this, I just have one question. If they do their TV taping, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to do arena shows? They're going to do small venue? What do you think a good platform for them is?
I think, and you're probably going to say it's too small, but I think a setup like Universal would be great.
Well, and that's what I was just going to say, to start off like an Impact did, but not like start off like, something like that, small, but then have their special shows maybe be bigger at a bigger event like an All-In, like a 10,000-seat arena. But I don't think they should jump right out like, just for example, like a TD Garden or something like that. That's too big. That's 19,000, too many people. Maybe they have specials, like they have Double or Nothing or something like that. But their first shows could be like, even at the, what is it around here? Like not the Memorial Auditorium, like something like that you think would be a good...
Well, maybe even the Ganis Arena, where TNA had that.
Or the Paul Songus,
Yeah, Paul Songus.
Like something like that. I was just wondering what your vision is.
I wouldn't go too big right off the bat. I know, because the problem is, here's the thing. Chicago was a great success. It was a one-time thing.
Right, and if they have the TV deal, do they expect, you think, live television every week? If it's on TNT, just say. Are they going to expect live television every week?
Right now, that's the trend in TV, is to get things live, to keep things DVR-proof.
And does that hurt them?
That's why WWE, even with every business metric declining big time, is able to get 4 times the money they're getting now.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that'll hurt them?
What?
If they have to do live television every week?
It all depends who they have for production people.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I know Billy Gunn is going to work behind the scenes with them.
He's another one.
That's a great guy, great mind for the business, but I mean, I don't know what his background is putting live TV together every week.
Exactly. No,
and
I
you
agree.
need to have the right production people. I know a lot of people knock Kevin Dunn, the smart fans and whatnot, but one thing you can't deny about WWE is the visual presentation that it is. We may say, geez, we want pyro. We might say, geez, we don't like this storyline, this match. We like women, we don't like women. The visual presentation of WWE is top-notch. I think it's better than any form of sport out there. I don't think you could maybe say the Super Bowl, But as far as a regular week in, week out sport, can you think of a major league sport that has a better presentation than WWE?
Not. I mean,
no.
If you put WrestleMania on, you just watch the very beginning, you watch that visual, it's just like, it's nothing like it. Nothing. I totally agree.
Well, as far as All Elite goes, I'll put it like this. I have great anticipation to see what it becomes. I hope it's a great success because it's good for everybody. But my honest opinion is, as of this moment, and while I don't knock them as human beings, I think the humor attempts are too much for a weekly wrestling promotion. If they can keep it serious, if they can keep it more believable, instead of it being, I know they mentioned some of these Chinese guys that are coming in, almost Cirque du Soleil. I don't think fans want that, other than perhaps moderation. I think moderation might be key for them, because even in their matches, they go overboard with just how many moves they do, how many sequences they have. Moderation, I think, is going to be key as far as content goes. In seriousness, they have to get a casual audience. Let's just say right now, Ring of Honor's, it's impossible to try and figure out what their fan base is. Let's go with, if they could do TNA numbers right off the bat with week one, I think that's successful. If they could do 250, 300,000 week one, I think that's very successful. I don't think it's impossible for week one. I think a lot of people are going to panic in week two, because week two is almost, unless you're talking about something exceptional, week two is going to go down, even if the first week is great. That's been proven with every wrestling program there ever has been. If you see it go up week two, you're talking about a big success in the future.
Absolutely.
I hope it goes well. I have my doubts, but I'm rooting for them.
We'll continue
I think that's
on
the one thing you and I didn't recognize, is that I'm rooting for them. I just think that what traditional wrestling has been, you know, there are far more failures that start up than successes. Ring of Honor has been around 16 years, 17.
2002.
It'll be 17 years in February. TNA will be around 17 years this summer. Neither one of them have ever run a regular schedule. Neither one of them has ever done anything really meaningful on television, you know? So there are reasons to be skeptical, but I do hope for the best.
Absolutely.
All right, wrestling fans, we're going to take a brief timeout, check in with our buddies. We'll be right back to wrap up the show.
You think you know your favorite superstar? Did you know about Sasha's favorite cousin? What about AJ's tattoos? Chris Jericho's expensive taste? No. You need the book that has everything you want to know about more than 200 of your favorite WWE superstars. It's the WWE Ultimate Superstar Guide.
New Orleans. On Tuesday, February 19th, WWE SmackDown Live brings you a night of thrills as AJ Styles collides with Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Plus, anything goes as Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch battle it out in a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Also see Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and The New Day. It's WWE SmackDown Live in New Orleans on Tuesday, February 19th. Tickets and ringside packages are available.
They're ready to take their rightful place amongst the literary greats. Who, you ask?
The New Day!
That's who. It's the Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. It's the feel-good story of the rise of the New Day. Loaded with games, trivia, coloring pages, and so much more. The Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. Available now online or wherever books are sold.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back. It's been a great evening to have you back here in studio. A lot of great discussion, I know. The phone's been buzzing. You got a lot of catching up to do with the your little app buffet, we may call it.
Absolutely not, but it's been a great night to be back.
We know a gentleman that likes the buffets on Lake Winnipesaukee, nonetheless. Friday night, March the 1st, MWF Studios, Tony Atlas. Uncasville, Connecticut, Mohegan Sun on Saturday, March the 2nd, Tony Atlas. WrestleMania weekend, Times Square. I don't remember the name of the hotel, but that's where WrestleCon is going to be. We're going to have Tony Atlas and other superstars known from national television. We got the Patreon. For a couple bucks a month, you get so much great content that helps us produce these programs. We got WWE coming this way in March. They present great live event experiences, even if you don't always like the week-to-week television programs. We got so many other things I can't keep track right now. I'm tired. My back is hurting. It's Waitangi Day. And maybe now some of the women are saying, I want you to have my tongue eaten.
All right.
All right.
And that was a great night of action that we talked about.
Yeah, with a lot of action. The two of us
Absolutely.
sitting 6 miles from each other.
Absolutely.
Because of our setup
Our new
team
stage,
tonight.
our new setup. We're ready to go.
Malachi and the Puppet.
All right.
All right, for Dave Carter, I'm Dan Marati. Folks, always like, share, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, you and yours be well.